they've lost the toss.
Looks
Paul.
like it, yeah. Chippenham will play in a all-blue kit, and off we go here at Plainmoor. And Torquay United immediately trying to launch a long diagonal ball towards Jordan Young, but it's headed away there by Vaughan. It will come back to Jordan Thomas, back to Dyer. He goes long again, looking for Louis Dennis, tries to get in front of his man but can't. However, Sonny Blue, Low Everton does get possession, and in between him and Dennis they just about keep it. And now United have got it down the right hand side. Jordan Thomas, a low ball, and looking for the runner back. Jay gets it back to Jordan Young. Jordan Young tripped in the box but doesn't go down, stays on his feet, and then he tries a low shot when he had Fulson behind him. Thought Jay maybe should have taken the shot there, Dave, but Jordan Young certainly should have taken it first time. Just after 30 seconds he almost had a chance to put United in front, but chose to come inside a little bit there, and the ball is now back in United's half, and Jordan Dyer comes out and again goes long, looking for the head of Louis Dennis. Can Dennis get in front of his man? Good defending there by Carroll out there, and eventually Chippenham will try to come forward through Evans in that central midfield role. I beg your pardon, that was Fleet, and it now comes back to Will Henry in the goal. Well, an interesting start there, Dave. Almost a chance for Torquay after just 35 seconds.
Well, it's been very noticeable that United have already hit 3 fairly long direct balls from back to front. We haven't been seeing that for a little while here this season, and fairly obvious that they don't intend to muck about too much.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, sometimes, I mean, you can, the Chippenham fans bear with me, as Jordan Young comes down the right hand side, tries to go past his man there. I think that was Vaughan out there, he's brought him down. Referee, is he going to show him an early yellow card here? I thought he had a card in his hand there. I just glanced at him, sorry. Yeah.
Look, 20 minutes further into the match, that's surely a booking, isn't it? It's I think he said, right, that's your one.
Yeah.
Because it was a fairly clumsy and, need I say it, cynical taking out of United's right winger Jordan Young. But he has a free kick now over by the Popside touchline, halfway between the penalty box and halfway line.
Well, to be honest, Dave, I would thought that was a few yards forward, but perhaps Torquay not complaining. Chippenham defending the edge of the box. It will be the left foot of Jordan Young, as Dave says, 5 yards in from the right hand side. Here it comes into the box, up goes ahead of Sam Dreher, or he was going to challenge for it. It's going to go out for a corner kick though. Good defending there. I think it was Harrison that headed that behind, but after just 2.5 minutes here at Plainmoor, it's going to be Jordan Young's left-footed corner from the left-hand side down the Bristol's bench side here. Low Everton comes over to me, ask a question, did they go short or not? I was at the game on Saturday, Dave. A short corner for Torquay was terrible, not a bit too fine a point out. He misses him and comes to Dolan, now to Low Everton. Cam Dolan finds space for a shot, comes back inside but runs into traffic. The thought was there, the execution wasn't. Chippenham clear, and United have a throw-in down the left hand side in front of the Chippenham bench.
Yeah, several passes on for Dolan there and didn't choose either of them, and then a poor touch gives the ball away. He's better than that.
Well, James Hammond again is going to go long. Dolan will go into challenge there. Players run into each other. That breaks very kindly for Dolan. He tries a low right foot shot, but it's one of those at the inside of the foot, and truthfully, if Will Henry's letting that go past him, he would have been substituted immediately straight into his arms there from Dolan. I think he possibly needs to put his foot through that a bit more, Dave.
Long way out, wasn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. The thing is, with those kind of little place shots he tried one Saturday as well, unless they're absolutely accurate, that they're never going to trouble a keeper too much.
WhatsApp 08000 321 333.
Starting your message with the word Devon.
Good covering by Mark Worthington. It's now with Dyer. Him and Jordan Thomas exchange passes now to Worthington, 30 yards from his own goal. A whole game in front of him, looking for what he's going to do. Looking for a little bit of movement. Dolan comes shorter, but he comes out to Fulson just on the halfway line here, and he will go all the way back to James Hammond, and Hammond will now decide to give it to Jordan Dyer. United just keeping possession a little bit. Here's another long diagonal ball from Jordan Dyer. Louis Dennis and Dolan managed to get in front of Colwell there. Colwell 2 against 1, but it's Dolan on the left edge of the box. He comes wide looking for Fulston. He comes back into Matt Jay. Jay gives it to Jordan Young. Can they find space there? Try to get it back to Jay. Comes to Jordan Young. Shot blocked again, and Chippenham will eventually get it clear, but it deflects off of Jordan Young and out for a goal kick. But Torquay's intent looks fairly obvious so far, Dave.
Yeah, they're penning Chippenham in their own half, very often around their own penalty area, but just taking a tiny bit too long to do things, get their shots away. Interestingly, I wondered whether Matt Worthington might play a bit further forward than he has been recently. For me, his best performance was at Salisbury when he scored and United 1-0, and he played much further up the pitch that night. But again, he settled in that kind of sweeper stroke quarterback position in front of the United back four.
There's a dink ball forward looking for Cazella, I think it is, trying to get forward. He gets into the box, but a free kick has been awarded as Cazella was deemed to have pulled Dreer's shirt. And the scoreboard telling us free kick. Good stuff there by Ian's just next door to us operating it, Dave, so if we're unsure we can always refer to that. As Worthington again just said, I actually noticed, I was actually going to say just after a minute or two that Low Everton seems to be a little bit further forward, Dave. So
well, he has to be, doesn't he? Yeah. Because if Worthington, again, he's virtually playing centre back, which is I'm not sure that's, I can see why Paul Watton has sort of tried to encourage that position, but it means he's a long way from the opposition goal. Absolutely. Most of the time.
Oh, there's a nice tackle by Low Everton there. I thought that deflected off a Chippenham player. It didn't. It's a throw in 15-20 yards inside Torquay's half over on the pop side, which will be taken by Vaughan. Good evening, and welcome to BBC Radio Devon Sport. And I believe we've also got BBC Radio Wiltshire tuning in to us tonight. Thank you for joining us here on BBC Radio Devon Sport if you have chosen to do so. And at the moment, not any clear-cut chances, so to speak, but Torquay certainly looking the more interesting. But here goes Cazella trying to get on the end of a long ball up the right-hand side. It goes all the way through. James Hammond will pick it up. Dave, were you at Chesham on Saturday?
No, I wasn't, but I'm going to Dorking this weekend.
Oh, right, okay.
But I know one person who definitely was there, and that was Neil Warnock, who was at Chesham on Saturday. And
well, if I get the chance, I'll tell you my woes about it. And I ended up sitting almost beside him, which let's just say it's not a ground for the mass spectator. Not that I'm massive, but for a massive spectators, it was a really poor view there. But anyway,
well, certainly I think Neil has been getting a little bit more involved in the best kind of way in trying to help United through this little.
Chippenham trying to come forward. That's a decent ball down there by Caldwell looking for Cazella, but Dreer gets in front of him. Hammond's clearance falls to Jay, gets a little bit lucky, and then a long ball out of defence wasn't read by Callum Dolan, and even if it was, he still wouldn't have had a chance of getting it way over.
That was Low Everton whacking that forward. You probably wanted somebody a bit more of a piano player than a piano shifter on that one.
But as I said earlier on, Dave, we've watched some supposedly of the bigger teams coming here to playing more this season, never mind last season, and putting 10 men behind the ball. I'm not sure what the Chippenham fans' views on it will be, but genuinely, I'm not just saying this because I know we've got a Wiltshire audience tonight as well, but credit to them, they've obviously got a way they like to play, which tends to be getting forward, and they've put two out-and-out strikers on. Owen Evans just behind them, and despite their woes away from home at the moment, they're sticking to their principles, Dave, rightly or wrongly, but I personally I admire that, to be honest.
Yeah, Gary Horgan, very experienced manager, who's been with them for a long time. Just watching the play here. That even when they've been in trouble, and they've been in trouble many times over the last 2 or 3 years, and then somehow he manages to conjure up little runs of form where they turn things around and they creep up the table, and they've done very well. They're one of the out-and-out part-time teams, and he's part-time himself, by the way, Gary Horgan, the manager, and they've done very well to survive in the National League South.
Dyer again attempted to go long his slip, but Dennis comes short and gets that. He's got two in support down the left hand side. Dennis driving towards the edge of the Torquay box. It's a low cross in. Can it find that Jay? No, it can't. I'm not sure Jay believed that was going to be missed by the defender.
That's a chance.
Absolutely great ball by Dennis across the 6-yard line, but Jay just held back a little bit.
It did, didn't he? It was almost as if he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, he did. And now Worthington dinks it out looking for Fulston, who can't do it. Worthington immediately holds his hand up there. 9.5 gone here at Plainmoor, still 0-0 on BBC Radio Devon and Wiltshire Sport, and it will be a throw into tonight's visitors.
If Matt J sticks his foot out, then it's a goal, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going back to Chippenham, Dave. I call them a sneaky team, as it were. Everybody kind of always writes them off, but some of the results they've got, I'll be honest with you, I've actually followed the results over the last couple of seasons, and their away form is usually really, really good, or comparatively good. They've had wins at the likes of Dorking and stuff like that. So as one of the fans I spoke to pre-match said, no mugs, I don't mean that to sound patronising, as Cazella picks it up, comes back there, that's a good ball by Fleet over to the left hand side where Vaughan will try to get his team forward, but he slows it down, goes back to Carroll.
They've got some injuries themselves, by the way, which don't make it easy, especially for a team with their sort of budget.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, it's I've actually got a deep-rooted admiration of them, Dave, to survive, and especially this season with, and it seems silly to say it, the money in this league now for Step 6 or Division 6, whatever way you want to put it, Step 2 of the National League, but 6 overall, as again Cazella will try and build up the right-hand side, think forward there by Caldwell, but Jordan Dyer gets in front of Touré, and he will go back. Touré's the Weymouth guy, isn't he, Dave? Was it Weymouth we seen him at last year, was it?
Touré, yeah.
I think he scored against us actually, but
they picked up some decent players. They've always had a good relationship with Bristol Rovers for loans. And Bath City as well. Wanjao Smith came from Bath, who's on the bench I think tonight. Yeah, he is. And of course Olaf Kasela, that's a little shout out to him. He was the striker that Gary Johnson once said that as long as I'm at the club he'll be here, because everybody could see what a very promising finisher he was as a trainee, a product of the club's academy.
Well, there's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment as Jay's robbed in midfield there by Fleet. They're going to go out left and look for Vaughan just inside the Torquay half, but again for some reason comes back, that wing back roller. I thought he was going to get wider. That's a good ball out to Caldwell on the right hand side. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can, according to the linesman. No, he can't. I think the linesman took a tumble himself there, and after 12 minutes here at Plainmoor United have a throw in their left back position. 0-0.
Yeah, United on top. Should be 1 up if Matt Jay had just been a little bit more of an anticipation, perhaps, that Louis Dennis was going to deliver that cross a few minutes ago.
Some interesting early goals coming in, Dave. I'll get to them in a minute as Callum Dolan goes for the Gary Owen. Jordan Young backs into his man. He's penalised early goals. Bath 1, Taunton 0. Torquay won't be losing sleep about that. Dagenham 0, Horsham 1, Enfield 1, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidstone 1, Eastbourne 0, Dover 1, Dorking 0. But the one that no Torquay fan or indeed Hornchurch fan wants to see is Weston 1, Slough 0. Weston yet to concede a goal at home this season. A lot of people, again, they've done it last season, Dave, they've done really well and then fell away for the last third of the season.
Well, they've just lost manager Scott Bartlett to Eastleigh, so Scott Rogers has taken over now with former goals defender Gary Warren as number 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Beautiful
from Dolan there from that clearance, and then Matt Jay sends Louis Dennis down the left hand side. He's picking the ball up 10 yards from goal, looking to get into the box. Dolan goes wide of him. Dennis coming in trying to go onto the right foot, does, but his cross is blocked. It will fall to Low Everton, nodded back to Fulston. All this coming down Torquay's left. Dolan now hugging the touchline, but again he is offside. It's poor from Dolan there. He needs to read that a little bit better, or in truth perhaps the ball played to him shouldn't have went in that direction. But after a bright early start, Dave, to be fair, Chippenham have got back into it a little bit in my opinion.
Dolan should have looked along the line there, shouldn't he? He's got a perfect view of that situation. He obviously strayed half a yard offside, maybe a yard, having been the instigator of the move with a great touch out on the touchline.
For the second game in a row, Brad Ash gets on the score sheet for Bath. He's their scorer.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
play BBC Radio Devon,
and on your radio.
The sound of Devon is
BBC Radio Devon.
I thought Fulston got the ball there,
well, the referee waved play on initially, and then the flag went up. So the ref has gone with his linesman. I'm quite pleased with that. It's nice to see more linesmen more referees involving their assistants in the decision making.
What's not nice to see, Dave, is there's now 4 Chippenham players over at the referee. They're not literally making the card gesture, but it's fairly obvious why they're there, trying to get Fulston into the book. 6, 10, 28, and I can't see the other one. That's Haynes, Owen Evans.
Well, they're only wasting their own time, aren't they, Paul? So
yeah, but I mean, I think Fulston claims he got the ball, whether he went through him, as you said. The referee and linesman seem to differ in opinion there, but as it stands,
was just a yard too quick for him, and it was a perfectly reasonable attempt to win the ball. He got it slightly wrong, free kick, end of story.
It's going to be Owen Evans with the right foot, 16 yards from goal. 8 yards outside the Torquay box, down the right hand side in front of their own fans. Here he dinks it in, it's headed away there by Louis Dennis. It will come to Fleet, and he's forced to go back to Caldwell back there, making sure Torquay couldn't break on them. Back out to Fleet, he's on the left hand side at the moment, he's got support down the left, but Jordan Thomas reads that pretty well, but he needs to not concede a corner, and he does eventually put it out for a throw-in. Was Jordan Thomas' start a surprise to you, Dave? Or?
Well, after he started last Saturday, no, but I was surprised that
he started Saturday,
that he started last Saturday mainly. Paul was saying he didn't deserve to come out of the team after the way he replaced Akinpong against Dagenham, but if Akinpong's fit, and he was Paul Watton's first choice before the Dagenham game. Here we go, long throw.
It's going to be a long throw from Haynes from the left hand side into the edge of the 6 yard box. Excellent header away there. I think that was Lou Everton that got his head on it and amongst the crowd. Back out to Haynes, his right footed cross is a little bit mishit, good defending there by Dreyer, and there's a poor tackle there, and all the Torquay players immediately surrounding the referee. I think it was Fleet that went in there, can't see the Torquay player that went down. Is it?
In fairness, we criticised the Chippenham players for doing that a few seconds ago. In fairness, I don't think the Torquay players actually leapt on the referee and said booking there. They were just making sure that...
though, Dave, it is going to be a booking.
Yeah, he is, but that was the referees. He wasn't pressured into that. I think their main concern why they were gathering around was to make sure that Jay was okay, because he took quite a heavy challenge there, but he's all right.
Well, I think it was the force he went in with there that got that yellow card there, but here's a long clearance, Dolan, little nudge in the back, it comes to the yellow carded Fleet. He goes back to Caldwell does well, goes up the line looking for Toure, but Toure just can't control that. Paul Watton getting in between them, Jay Fulston, Toure and Paul Watton in a little bit of a sandwich there, but Torquay take the throw in quickly. Fulston not brought down by Toure, now finds Louis Dennis in a deep position. Jordan Young on the edge of the box trying to find a little bit of space. Has he overrun it? No, he's not. Gets back there, he's got Jordan Thomas behind him on this right hand
Daniel
side.
Pascoe.
Back into Sonny Blue, Low Everton again looking for Thomas, but Chippenham plenty behind the ball. Here comes Worthington, nice little ball in there from Thomas to Jordan Young, but his control is a little bit too heavy to be fair. Now that's given away to Matt Jay. Chance for Jay, shoots just over the bar there from 16 yards. Possibly Dave should have taken another touch there, I thought so.
I'm not sure about that, but he should definitely have hit the target from there, Paul. Again, United pressuring the Chippenham defence, which is nearly always, if you can't play your way through, at least forcing defenders to make mistakes. They did that, the ball broke for them. Jay is in, right hand side of the penalty area, 15 yards out, one touch, bang, he went for power and stuck it over the bar.
I thought he might have taken another touch there, Dave. I don't think the defender would have closed him down, but easy to say that from up here. 18 minutes just over gone here at Plainmoor, no goals yet. The goal kick is cleared by Fulston, and then Worthington, rather than bringing it down, plays it forward, but Dennis will try and close down the goalkeeper, Will Henry, but he clears it up, and Torquay United 10 yards inside their own half down this left hand side will have a throw, and it's actually going to be taken inside the Torquay half. The linesman's happy with that, must have went out earlier than I thought, and Fulston and Worthington exchange throw-ins and passes, and now Sam Dreyer's got it. He'll feed Jordan Dyer, but he puts Jordan Dyer on the back foot for some reason. Dyer coming up now finds again Dreyer on the left, beg your pardon, out to Dolan on the left hand side. Dreyer just over the halfway line there with that pass. Good ball out from Dolan, looking for the runner. Jordan Thomas, decent, very good first touch from Thomas. Can he get the cross in? Good defending there, to be fair, by Vaughan. And Torquay United 16 yards from goal have a throw in taken quickly, which Jordan Young's got. They've got three in the middle, Torquay, but it's well defended there by Harrison, who's the replacement for Ellison tonight, and then given away, but Dennis just can't keep control. Thomas, a big hand, can't keep control, and Chippenham will clear. Dreyer launches it back up. I think Jay come back from an offside position there. I thought he did actually, as Low Everton dinks it, looking for Louis Dennis. There's another wild challenge, well, not wild challenge, but a hefty challenge on Dennis, and 27 yards roughly from goal. Torquay United have a free kick. Probably, do you think this is a shot in goal territory, Dave? The angles, it's quite wide right, isn't it?
I've gone I think it's a bit far out personally because when you add the angle to the distance, you're probably talking or at least 25, maybe nearly 30 yards from where Jordan Young is. Look, he can hit the target from here, there's no doubt about that.
He can indeed. It will be the left foot of Jordan Young. Let's see what he goes for there. He does go for the shot, and he gets it in. The keeper did get a hand to it, but it goes into the net. It's another Jordan Young special. It's 7 for the season. We're just in the 21st minute here at Plainmoor. Jordan Young strikes. Torquay United 1, Chippenham 0.
Just the breakthrough United needed at the time they needed it. Well, what can you say about Jordan Young and his left foot? I think, unless somebody else has gone and done something stupid tonight, that makes him the National League South's top scorer with 7 goals this season. We were both debating whether he was going to have a go from there or try and stick the ball into the mixer, but he stuck it from the right-hand side to the top near corner, and Will Henry has done his best. He's not the biggest in the world, Will Henry, but he's done his best and could only get his fingertips to the ball, couldn't keep it out. 1-0 to United.
I wonder if the Chippenham fans, from our angle, Dave, it possibly looked like maybe the keeper could have done a little bit better there, but it was just such a beautiful free kick right in towards the top corner. As you said, Henry got a fairly decent hand on it, but perhaps from a slightly biased perspective, I'm saying yes, Jordan Young.
If you're Henry and you're trying to defend that, the corner where that Jordan Young has stuck it is almost the last place you're expecting the ball to go.
Yeah. Brilliant free kick by Jordan Young. It's, I think the camera being on that side is now Louis Dennis coming down the right hand side. Worthington trying to keep pace with him, gets it into the box, cleared away there though, but there's so many Chippenham players back, it falls nicely to Vaughan, and he's just happy to clear it up, looking for Touré, who does well enough to keep it in, and buys a throw in off, I think that's Matt J all the way back there for some reason. Was it Low Everton?
Yeah, Low Everton.
Sorry, it is, I thought it was Matt J for a minute there. I need to have a word with Matt J about
Daniel Pascoe.
Different colour hair.
Well, yeah, I need to have a word with Matt J about his haircut. He was so recognisable up until a couple of weeks ago, and then went for the proverbial shot back and sides.
Yes, we've all been used to seeing him with his. No. It's not an Alice band, but his hair tied behind his head, but that's no longer there.
Well, the Chippenham manager's having a right go to fourth official. I honestly don't know what it's about, Dave, as I was watching the play over there.
I think Gary Horgan thinks that was a pretty
meaty challenge,
full-blooded meaty challenge, and the referee's just given a free kick rather than anything more. And of course, Chippenham have already had one player booked.
There's a ball dinked played towards Torquay's box. It's going to break a Chippenham way. There's a low shot comes in, blocked by Dreher. Didn't know a lot about it, and now Matt J's got a chance to get United forward, but truthfully he's not got a lot to aim at, so he does well to keep possession and finds goal scorer Jordan Young. He comes back to Jordan Thomas. Sonny Blue, Low Everton finds a little bit of space. Worthington now out to Jordan Thomas and back over to Jordan Young. All this happening inside Torquay's half. Beautiful diagonal ball from Jordan Young over to the halfway line, and Jay Fulston will now come forward. Callum Dolan comes short, he picks it up, looking for the movement of Louis Dennis. Matt J's playing as a striker at the moment, I hasten to add, and has been for the last 10 minutes or so. Matt Worthington dinks that across, looking for Jordan Thomas. United getting plenty of space in the middle third, so to speak. Now Jordan Young out there, can he find a way to get the ball? And he comes back to Jordan Thomas. He will come across, no he won't, to Jay Fulston. He'll go back out to Jordan Young on that right hand side. Worthington gives it back to Young, little give and go there. Young's long diagonal, looks for Callum Dolan, left edge of the box. He chests it down to Fulston. United beginning to get their confidence is growing. Callum Dolan now 28 yards from goal, finds Louis Dennis back to goal, comes back to Worthington, dinks it forward a little bit too intricate there. You could see Dolan.
Why didn't Worthington have a shot then?
I was expecting it as well, Dave.
It's a great build-up just inside the box, and it's finally laid back to Matt Worthington on the edge of the box. Instead of having a first-time shot which looked on, he tried to sort of do a lob volley over the defence, which seemed to be the most difficult of the options, but as we often say, easy back here.
Absolutely. Well, I think the free kick proved that for us, Dave, didn't it? And here comes again Evans. He just strokes it back. Chippenham have it midway inside their own half, played over to Haynes, back to Henry in goal, and now he'll look to go out to the left hand side where Vaughan will pick it up. He comes inside, good take by Vaughan, working his way into Torquay United's half. Caldwell looks a decent little player, this one actually in my opinion. Dave picks it up on the right hand side, dinks it forward, looking for the supporting run. Vaughan for some reason all the way over there, I don't know why, and then a real meaty challenge by Caldwell right in front of the linesman. Is ended up winning his side a corner. Caldwell started reasonably well for me, Dev.
Yeah, look, Chippenham are still well in this game. United do deserve their lead. They've been on top both in possession and territory from the first whistle, and James Hammond has he touched the ball yet? I don't think he has. But anyway, he may have to now. Corner.
Yep. 1 of the 26 minute here at Plainmoor United with that Jordan Young special in front. Here comes a low right footed corner at the edge of the box, a training ground one. It's going to break again. Unlucky there for Evans.
Yes, over the bar. A proper corner routine there, not chipped into the goal mouth, laid back flat across the area. First shot blocked and dropped to Evans, and he didn't need a second invitation, and it flew over the bar but not that far over.
And United again trying to come forward, and Dennis will keep that in, gets it back. He's given offside there, though. Dennis, I thought he'd come from a deep enough position, but obviously not.
The linesman's in line, so we have to go along with him, but that seemed like a tight one. One of the Chippenham players needs some treatment at the moment. The referee's called a halt for a moment. What's all that about?
Well, after Saturday, I always look to see who's on the ground, but none of them are.
I think there seems to be an issue with one of the Chippenham players. It's his shoulder, I think, and he's going to have to go off. Now, who's that? It's number 10. Tom Owen Evans. That will be a loss because he's one of Chippenham's better players. Is he having to go off or not?
Not quite sure. I can see their manager down there.
He's standing off the pitch holding his shoulder. They haven't got a substitute lined up yet. I think he may be giving it another go, but he's in a certain amount of discomfort, you can see that.
Who is it you say, Dave?
Tom Owen Evans.
Where is he?
The number 10. He's down on the touchline.
Sorry, there he is. Yeah, I was I could see the other Evans in the middle there.
Whether he feels he can continue. Look, a shoulder isn't an injury you can run off, is it?
No, exactly. Obviously not. Well, Chippenham again through the other Evans, trying to come forward. The referee telling Owen Evans he can come back on. Chippenham now through Carroll. He's got a hairdo for the Carroll we seen here the other day there, but possibly not the money. It's as again Chippenham trying to come forward. Owen Evans finds Evans now out with the left hand side where Vaughan, I think it is, gets up there, plays it in looking for Cazella, but not good communication. Torquay clear it only to the halfway line where Carroll will pick it up. He will come back to Harrison, and Chippenham will look to start again. 28 minutes over, just over 28 minutes gone here. Torquay United 1, Chippenham Town 0. As the ball played into Toure, does well, but he did come back from an offside position. I thought that was there for a split second. Well played to the linesman. Thank you for joining us here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. We also have some BBC Wiltshire listeners joining us tonight as well. Good evening and welcome along to you guys. At the moment it's been a wonderful free kick from Torquay's Jordan Young that separates the side, but Torquay blasted the first 5 minutes. Looked like it was going to be one of those nights for them, but Chippenham, to be fair to them, shown that they have got things about them. They come back into the game, and truthfully the free kick was one of those that you don't see too often. And it's Chippenham again midway inside their own half, back inside to Fleet. He picked up a yellow card after 17 minutes for quite
a high press from Torquay here. They're forcing Chippenham to play backwards and sideways.
Absolutely. There's now Dolan, Dennis, Jay and Worthington surprisingly up there, and so they're going to go long, but Jordan Dyer will pick that up just about, controls it. Yeah, he does well, dinks it forward looking for Jordan Young, but good backtracking there by Vaughan, who's now back in his left-sided position, and Chippenham have the ball in their defensive area. Another long ball looking for Turi's doing alright getting in front of defenders at the moment, but all quite far from goal, to be fair, as Owen Evans is robbed there very well by Low Everton. Now Matt Jay's got it. Can he find something? Yes, he can. Jay Fulton midway inside the half, coming down this left hand side. Dolan goes wide to give him an option, which he takes. Dolan with the right foot. Is he going to put the cross in? He beats his man coming into the edge of the box. Dolan another step over, down he goes, and the referee doesn't, is not interested in Paul Watton and Mikey Edwards fuming, but here comes Cazella forward. We'll come back to that in a minute. Cazella down the right hand side, good tracking back by Low Everton, slows him down. Truthfully, Cazella was down, and there is a Chippenham player over there who's went down. I think it is Carroll, Dave, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
no, it's not, it's Owen Evans again. Well, Dave,
Paul Watton is apoplectic about that. Look, it looked like a stonewall penalty from here without a shadow of a doubt, and Callum Dolan is still raging about it. He went past the defender, was taken out, and it looked like the biggest stonewall penalty in history. But referee Syed Hussain from, I think he's from Weston-super-Mare actually, had a pretty good look at it and immediately waved play on. Now only the highlights will tell us the full story of that. Paul Watton was presumably the referee is explaining, but to his fourth official. Here he is, he's grabbed the ball. I thought for a moment he was going to come over and have a word with Paul Watton, either to say calm down or B, to explain why it was not a penalty. But that was a big shout by Mr. Hussain.
Well, yeah, unfortunately Owen Evans is coming off and Henry Sadie will be coming on. So a little bit of a blow there for the visitors. Owen Evans, a big player for them. But after 32 minutes just before, he has been substituted. The referee's going to drop the ball. Is this going to be a contested drop ball? Matt Jay right up against Fleet there in the middle. But the referee turns around, stood in front of Matt Jay there to make sure he couldn't get involved. And Chippenham again trying to build forward, but here we come forward. Here comes Torquay forward, I beg your pardon. Jordan Dyer plays it out to Louis Dennis, the front four. No, it's not, it's Jordan Thomas. I'm getting those two mixed up as well, Dave. I'm having a nightmare. Brilliant by Dennis on the right hand side. Good turn, gets a little bit of space, finds Jordan Young. All space over here on the left hand side. Fulston and Dolan, but it's not got there quick enough. Worthington now finds Fulston midway inside the half now to Dolan, trying to get into the penalty area. A nice little step over a low left foot cross. Good defending there by Haynes. Torquay United have a corner. 33 gone here at Plainmoor. Torquay United 1, Chippenham now. I just want to issue an apology to some of our listeners. I believe that there was some form of jingle being played over Dave and I at some point. Probably more interesting, some of you might be saying, but I hope we've got that particular glitch sorted now. And Jordan Young's left foot is about to take a corner. It's a left foot of his. It's put United in front. A brilliant strike after 21 minutes. Here it comes to the back post. Up goes Jordan Dyer. It's going to fall to Dreyer. Can he get a shot? Fleet break closes him down, I beg your pardon. Worthington skews the clearance, but Sonny Blue, Low Everton managed to get to the Jordan Thomas, and then his dink ball forward sees Carroll slip, but it was too strong.
Oh, much too strong.
Absolutely.
Poor ball by Jordan Thomas then, but at least in the build up to that corner we saw the right footed Callum Donald on the left go outside his man and deliver a really good cross, which Chippenham only just dealt with at the expense of a corner. United want to see Dolan do more of that.
Well, Chippenham determined to play out from the back here, and I tell you what, I'm not sure I'd be doing that, but that's Paul Watton claimed that went out. I personally don't think it did. It did now. Paul Watton's a lot closer than me. I think he's still fuming from that non-penalty award, Dave.
Well, also, the linesman on this side, and I think that's Will Anir.
Sorry, Matt Jay trying to come to the left edge of the box, plays it across looking for Jordan Young, but Chippenham just outnumbering Torquay there. Their work rate's admirable. And then
what I was about to say was, sorry, Paul, is that Paul Watton was right on the top of that, and I must say my instinct was that the ball had gone out for a throw, but from considerably further away the linesman said no. But there we are. We can't spend all night criticising and having a go at referees.
And now here comes the substitute. I think Sadie. And he just has to be forced back to his central defence, and it's going to be Haynes, and Chippenham will look to build again out to Caldwell. He's the one that, if I was a Torquay player, Dave, I'd be keeping my eye on him. The way he skinned Fulston earlier on was impressive, and he's certainly looks keen in that right wing back position to get up the field. 35 minutes gone. Welcome to BBC Radio Devon Sport. I'm Paul Mulhern, joined by Dave Thomas from the Torquay Weekly. It's currently Torquay United 1, Chippenham Town 0, a Jordan Young special. I'll try and get a second to run through the other scores as Chippenham just knock it about at the back. Bath 1, Taunton 0, Chesham 0, Worthing 1, Dagenham 1, Horsham 2, Hampton 0, Hemel 1. Hampton's good start of the season beginning to disappear slightly, but here comes substitute Sadie just on a halfway line. It's a good ball looking for Cazella, but Sam Dreer's too clever for that and gets it through, and then Hammond's clearance hits Cazella. Is that going to break to Touré? No, it's not. Jordan Dyer gets in there, and again Jordan Young loses his footing, and here comes Vaughan rampaging towards the edge of the Torquay box, going down the left side trying to get the cross in, and he doesn't win his team a corner. It stays in. Touré picks it up back here to Fleet, 30 yards from goal with a little bit of space, but he comes back the way, and now out to the left hand side where Carroll has come up from that centre back position. Vaughan out on the left hand side midway inside the Torquay half, played into Touré on the edge of the box. Matt J gets back there well, and between him and Jordan Thomas they clear it, and now Louis Dennis a little bit too casual there, loses possession. It is back with Henry just outside his own goal now to Haynes. Dolan going to close him down. Fulston comes up to close Caldwell down. It looks like Paul's instructed Torquay to do that, to try and nullify Caldwell a little bit. Fulston gets in. Jordan Young trying to get in front of Carroll. Carroll pulling and pushing there, but Jordan Young does well enough. Now back to Jordan Thomas just inside the Torquay half, looking for movement, which he instead comes across to Jordan Dyer. Chippenham's off the ball, works pretty decent to be fair. Both their wing backs drop into a 5 when United have the ball. Now Worthington, long diagonal ball looking for Dolan in front of Caldwell. It does come off of Caldwell, but Dolan given offside.
Once again on that long diagonal ball, which either Jordan Dyer or in that case Matt Worthington looks to hit. They do the switch diagonal ball from right to left, and that's the second time that Callum Dolan, who should be looking along the line and making sure he's onside, has got wrong according to the lines.
I'll be honest, Dave, that flag surprised me, but again we're not in the best position. Sorry, let me just go back to the scores. Dagenham 1, Horsham 2, Hampton 0, Hemel 1, Enfield 2, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidstone 2, Eastbourne Borough 0, Maidenhead 0-0 with Tonbridge, as Chippenham again through Caldwell down this right hand side, but he's forced back towards his own goal. Haynes will come back to Harrison and he'll go back to the keeper. Maidstone 0-0 with Tonbridge, Salisbury 1, Farnborough 0, Dover 1, Dorking 0, and Weston-super-Mare have conceded a goal at home at long last, but they are currently 3-1 up in the first half at home to Slough. That's good play. Now here's a chance for Sadie to come forward, 4 up in this attack here if they can pick the right pass. He's got Caldwell out, but Touré stops his run thinking he was going to be offside, and truthfully said he has to feed Caldwell there. And now Matt J in a little bit deeper role tries to get United on the front foot. He finds Jordan Young just inside the Chippenham half on the right hand side. Jordan Young trying to turn his man, but he's good defending there. Comes back to Matt J. Matt J dinks over here now to Fulston, and acres of space down this left hand side. Dolan's telling Fulston to go outside himself, but he comes inside to Worthington. Worthington now out to Fulston, 18 yards from goal, just on a touchline. Back to Worthington. United going to put the ball in the box to Dinkwin, looking for Matt J. Back to goal, dinks it into Louis Dennis. Back to J. Can he get space for a shot? Good play there by Torquay between J and Dennis in particular, but J just couldn't get anything on his shot. 39 gone here at Plainmoor on BBC Radio Devon Sport. Torquay 1, Chippenham 0. Torquay, their front four, Dave, it's difficult to keep up with it from here, never mind on the pitch. Just changing position all the time, aren't they?
It was good play by United there, wasn't it? Very patient but crisp passing, and eventually set the chance up for Matt J. And as you said in commentary, just couldn't get enough power from the shot from 12 yards out to trouble Will Henry in the Chippenham goal.
I've received a text from somebody in a part of the ground, and apparently the referee said to Paul Watton, minimal contact. Now, I'm not going to pass that as fact, but that's for the penalty decision, obviously.
Yeah,
but minimal contact, still contact.
Exactly, especially since Callum Dolan quite clearly.
Sorry, here comes Sam Dreyer, finds Dennis. Here's a chance for Dennis to feed Jordan Young. Can Young get a shot away? He can. Good save there by Henry. He can't keep it. The left foot of Jordan Young asking questions again. Torquay have a corner. 40 gone here at Plainmoor. United trying to double the lead.
Another good build-up play. United need this second goal, which their approach play deserves. They're starting to open this Chippenham defence up with their good movement and quick passing. Can they, unlike they didn't get the second goal at Salisbury a few weeks ago and ended up having to sweat on a 1-0 win. Can they get the second goal here tonight and give Young, themselves a bit of a cushion? From the right hand side, the pop side, Jordan Young's left foot corners on your post one. Up goes it head, it's a Chippenham head, it gets it. Dreyer goes to the back post, it's surely another corner yet. Some fans complaining that Dreyer was pushed there as he went to challenge for that. Truthfully, if you get a penalty for that, then there's a short corner taken this time by J.T. Dolan. Dolan dinks it in towards the back post. It's in the hands of the goalkeeper, who almost drops it. Louis Dennis sniffing about, but well played to Will Henry. He collected it at the second time of asking before it hit the ground, and now here a ball up the left side looking for the run of Kazela, but Jordan Thomas easily clears that. Worthington gets a fortunate dink to Dennis. Can Dennis beat his man? No, he can't. It breaks again, luckily to Torquay, to Worthington, right edge of the box. Here comes Jay, there's a shot coming in. Brilliant shot coming in. It's actually Sonny Blue Low Everton from the edge of the box with a right foot. He curls it round the defender, in off the post. 42 minutes gone here at Plainmoor. United double the lead. Torquay 2, Chippenham 0. We've seen two goals right out of the top drawer at Plainmoor here tonight. Jordan Young's free kick. What a first time shot from Sonny Blue Low Everton after a good build up down the right hand side. I think it was Jordan Young's pass inside for Sonny Blue Low Everton. He arrived, I think we all thought that he was going to sort of stick a diagonal cross into the box, but he's actually got a lot more on it than that, and he's hit it from the right hand side outside the area, 22, 23 yards out, and it's gone in off the near post, the angle of post and bar, and ended up nestling in the bottom left hand corner of the net. Tremendous strike, and United have got the second goal, which they so badly wanted.
Well, Dave, I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this game, obviously, but we have been treated to two truly special goals. Sonny Blue Low Everton getting off the mark for Torquay United, and if you're going to do it, you might as well do it with that. From our angle, Dave, it was quite deceiving to see if it went in. It almost looked, firstly I thought it was Jay, I got that wrong, but luckily correcting myself in time. Fleet dinks one forward, that'll go all the way through to James Hammond, and then he hit that with the inside of his right foot. Dave said roughly about 20 yards out. It curled round. The keeper just was a spectator, to be honest, but my initial reaction for a split second, I thought it had went wide and run along the advertising boards at the back, but it actually clipped the inside of the post, rolled along the back of the net. Torquay 2, Chippenham 0, and truthfully some of Torquay's attacking play tonight has been back to what we were seeing early season, but again, Chippenham, to be fair to them, they're stuck to their principles, Dave. They're trying to come forward, perhaps to their detriment. I suppose that's for their fans to debate amongst themselves, but Torquay United will be delighted. I think Paul Watton, especially the quality of the goals. We've got a couple of goal of the month contenders just tonight alone, and maybe even with Jordan Young's case a goal of the season contender, and then Low Everton now goes back there, and Jordan Thomas just plays it back to James Hammond in goal. And Hammond will look to clear long, looking for Louis Dennis. He's checking what's about him. He's such an intelligent player, Dennis. He was out jumped there, but you could see what he was thinking. And now Sam Dreyer is going to shepherd that back all the way back to James Hammond. He quickly comes out to Jay Filson. We've got about a minute and 15 seconds of normal time left in this half. Filson's long ball again, looking for the head of Louis Dennis. Torquay for a change didn't pick up the second ball there. They have been picking a few second balls up.
Very important that, Paul. They haven't won every header with the more direct approach, but the fact is that if you put enough pressure on the defenders, they may well give you the ball back anyway.
Yeah, it's correct, yeah. And then here again, Caldwell will now try and come down the right hand side, midway inside Torquay's half, but he's back. He will only find Haynes just on the halfway line. He will come inside to his own half and find Fleet. He will come across to Carol Vaughan, space down the left hand side, but again dropping deep. Well, then fair play to Chippenham. They're certainly not shy in committing men forward. They're playing a sort of wing back role, 3 defenders, 2 wing backs, 2 central midfielders, a number 10 and 2 out and out strikers. But at the moment, only 3 goals away from home, and after those 2, 12 conceded in what's their 6th game away from home this season. There's a long clearance by Henry, goes up towards Dreher, he gets in front of Toure, dinked forward there by Is Casella offside? He is offside, and Torquay United will see this half out with a free kick 2 yards from their own goal, just outside the box. There's going to be 3 additional minutes in this first half, Dave.
Well, United deserve this lead, there's no doubt about it. James Hammond hasn't had a save to make in the first half. 1 missed kick, which sounded a few alarm bells a couple of minutes ago, but he's had almost nothing to do. And United dominating this first half in all aspects of the game, and they've now got the second goal that pressure deserved and merited. So can they go on now and produce the sort of 90-minute performance that at least one supporter that you interviewed before the game was alluding to? And I think most of us who've seen United this season know what he was talking about.
Yeah, fair. As I said, I know there's been some negativity, I don't know if that's too strong an expression. There's some people saying whatever, but saying, oh well, you know, it's all very well winning at home, but you get 3 points of winning at home and away, and it's not as easy to win all your home games as perhaps people might think. But Torquay's right at the sunny blue low. Everton nicks the ball trying to come forward. Was he fouled there? Matt Jay's got it, finds Jordan Young, can he keep control of it? Because well, Jordan Young, but he eventually just runs into too much traffic.
One touch too many.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, sometimes that's been a story of Torquay's front line, Dave, but even tonight a couple of times. But as I said, with the quality of goals, I'm not going to sit and moan about that.
He's so clever, isn't he, Young, that he nearly jinked his way past about 4 players in the space of 6 or 7 yards then. Just the final one too close, but
somewhat despondent looking even from this distance. Carroll goes out to take the throw in 15 yards from their own goal up the left hand side for Chippenham, but it's well won there again by, I think, Jordan Young. Him and Louis Dennis trying to combine.
Who used to play for Chippenham, of course, by the way. He's one of 3 members of the Torquay team that have played for Chippenham Town in the past.
Jordan Young?
Yeah.
He actually, Dave, I am pretty sure it was you. It was in the commentary booth with me that night when Torquay were still in the National League through Chippenham in the FA Trophy. It was a midweek game, it ended up 3-2, and Jordan Young in the first half, not to be too fine a point on it, absolutely ripped Torquay apart. He played in the number 10 role. They went in
before he went to Yeovil Town.
I actually remember saying at the time I'd love to sign that guy. He was really, really impressive. He's scored one definitely. I think he set up the second one. Torquay were 2-1 down, and then, if I'm going by memory here, Dave, which at my age is never a good thing, but I think Stephen Wern scored a couple of goals within the space of about 2 or 3 minutes to turn the game around.
You're quite right. Well done.
Yeah, it's but we are about just 10 seconds away from half time here. The 3 minutes additional time about to have come and gone. Dolan does well to head that in. Now can Jordan Young get on the end of that? The referee shouldn't stop us. That's a good looking ball through for Dennis. Can he get on it? It's not. Excellent tackle there by Harrison, to be fair, and he just got enough on it to allow Will Henry to pick it up in his own 6-yard box. But I think the referee's going to put the whistle to his lips. He is indeed going to put the whistle to his lips. We've played just over 3 minutes additional time, and it's 2-1. There's strikes from Torquay United that separate the sides at the moment. The first one coming from Jordan Young after just 21 minutes with a brilliant free kick from 27 yards, and then Sonny Bluelow. Everton said, holding a beer, if you can do that, I'm going to do similar. Dave, very, very briefly, what do you think Paul Watt was going to say to his players at half time?
Well, I hope he says, now look you lot, if you don't win this by 3 or 4, I'll want to know the reason why. And that's no disrespect to Chippenham. United have got the chance now with a 2-0 springboard to go on and register a really convincing victory for the first time this season. They have scored 3s and 4s at home before this season, but conceded goals along the way. There's no reason, since, as we were saying, that James Hammond hasn't had to touch the ball to any great effect so far, why United shouldn't go on and win this comfortably. Dangerous talk, I know, but United have been so on top in this first half. They've played more or less, I think, exactly how Paul Watton wanted them to play. He's clearly ordered them to get the ball forward much quicker than they have been doing at home. Even Matt Worthington, who's sort of been acting as the kind of quarterback role in front of the back four, playing a lot of possession football in the first few weeks and months of the season. Even he's getting it forward quicker, and of course, although Louis Dennis is not Cody Cook, and he may well not be winning clean headers all the time, that ball up, followed by lots of pressure on the ball and on the man, is forcing Chippenham to give up possession, and United are making the most of it.
Well, we will be back for the second half. I hope you've enjoyed the first half. Please rejoin us, but at half time here at Plainmoor, Torquay United 2, Chippenham Town 0.
With Dave Thomas and Paul Mulhern.
Thank you very much, James. Well, after a pretty decent first half, I think Chippenham tried their best to get forward, but Torquay United's qualities have made a difference here. Chippenham are back out. Don't notice any changes I've made. Perhaps I've been sent out a couple of minutes early to see if they can regroup a little bit. Torquay so far not coming out, but no doubt Torquay deserved to go in the lead, and the quality of the goals is kind of what fans pay their money for, wasn't it, both of them?
Yeah, look, it's as we were saying before we signed off at half time, you do look for these opportunities every now and again to really register an emphatic victory. United have done very well at home this season. They've scored goals at home, I think, more than anybody else at home. May be Western-super-Mare, because they've especially got 3 tonight so far. But you get these chances against opposition, which, look, we're not writing Chippenham off. They have had their occasional moments, but you just get a feeling that one more United goal and
floodgates.
Exactly. Never say never, but so United need to really start fast again in the second half, as they did in the first. Don't give Chippenham any encouragement that there's a way back into this match, and see if they can't finish them off.
Absolutely.
They do say 2-0 is an awkward lead. Well, because that's in the next goal territory, isn't it? The next goal, if the opposition score it, you're under pressure. If you score it, then hopefully you go on to a convincing victory. So let's hope that from a goals point of view, if that's what most of our listeners want, I'm sure, that United can take up where they left off in the first half.
Just a couple of shouts out, Dave, as we're about to get underway here. Good evening to Harry Salvage, I believe he's tuning in. Nice to see you again on Saturday, Harry. So far I'm enjoying a better outcome than you did, my friend, but always good to meet up when we go to the games together. As Chippenham, Chippenham get forward, or try to get forward. The long ball goes to the left back position. And Dave, before we go deep into the second half, just want to let everyone know that on Sunday the Torquay United women's team have got a massive FA Cup match against Exeter City, and we will have full live commentary of that here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. To the best of my knowledge, we'll be across all frequencies, so we'll probably have a few extra listeners in as well, but we will be covering.
They're expecting upwards of 1,000 fans here for that match. That would be tremendous.
Absolutely, let's hope so. As Chippenham through Carroll down this left hand side, trying to come forward, but he goes back to Evans, crosses it a lot of crossfield ball to Haynes, and it's now back with Henry in the goal. Just a reminder for Chippenham that Owen Evans was taken off with an injury midway through the half, and Henry Sadie has come on to replace him. Torquay United with throw in midway inside the Chippenham half, down the left hand side. Ball dinked forward towards our box, that's going to break. Jordan Young tries a shot. Did that come off a hand? No, it didn't. Worthington's going to get there in front of his man. He's got Thomas behind him. Can Thomas get the ball in the box? No, he comes back to Worthington about 20 yards from goal now, inside to Jordan Young, all down this right hand side now. Worthington again looking to fashion space for a cross. It deflects off a Chippenham defender, in this case Vaughan, and Torquay United 20 yards from goal down the right hand side through Jordan Thomas will have a throw in. United looking to get, as Dave alluded to, the third goal could really be the killer one if United get it. And well, Young claiming that was a throw into Torquay. The throw in from Thomas, challenged by a Torquay and Chippenham player. The linesman.
Don't want to alarm any United fans, but I have a horrible feeling that Matt Worthington has got a tiny bit of a groin issue. He's just feeling the left-hand side of his groin after stretching for that pass from Jordan Thomas just now. I think he's all right. He's still running, but I think it's just now as well. Whether it's an old injury that he's had, he's just. But I think that's something that he and United may keep an eye out for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a score that I don't think too many are predicted. Sorry, as Sadie tries to build for his team back to the yellow carded Fleet. He comes along to Harrison, and now over to the right hand side to the ever busy Colwell. He comes inside looking for Sadie, tries to control it, gets a little bit fortunate he did, and now Evans under pressure. Torquay United pressing this time on the halfway line, but forcing Chippenham to go back. And then Jordan Thomas picks up a scrappy clearance. He comes back to Dreher, now to Dyer. Dyer will look to go down the right channel looking for the run of Louis Dennis, but he can't get over. Carroll down that left hand side there, and Carroll plays it up to the halfway line. Touré, good play by Touré, holds it well, and then Evans dinks it out looking for Colwell, but forces him onto the back foot and allows Callum Dolan to come over to close him down. Back inside now to Haynes. Haynes comes across again to Carroll. Excuse me, Chippenham just playing it about their back line, and eventually Evans strokes it back to Henry. Bath 1, Tottenham 0, Chesham 0, Worthing 1, Dagenham 1, Horsham 2, Hampton 0, Hemel 1. But the one that really surprised me, Enfield 3, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidstone 2, Eastbourne 0, Maidenhead in the lead against Tonbridge, Salisbury 1 up against Farnborough, Dover still in front against Dorking by 1-0. Torquay of course 2-0 up, and Weston-super-Mare have got a fourth at home to Slough. Weston 4, Slough 1. Certainly Slough's defence beginning to leak goals, particularly away from home, as Chippenham have a goal kick which is taken in their own 6-yard box from defender to keeper. Now over to Carroll. United not really pressing him, more pressing him zonally rather than man-to-man there. But Chippenham find the space, and Evans will look to recycle possession, which he just gives to Carroll. He's got, Vaughan on the left hand side, Vaughan, Evans and Carroll, but they're keeping possession but getting absolutely nowhere now. Fleet goes across. Torquay United's off the ball work, they're not pushing too hard for it. Truthfully, they don't need to at the moment. Just over 4 minutes gone of this second half here on BBC Radio Devon Sport, and now Touré drops deep, comes back, finds Vaughan, but again every time Touré drops deep it means they've got nothing to aim for, or very little to aim for up front. But Touré's done well there again, gets it on. He now finds Cazella, and Touré again almost gets it through to Sadie. Dreher gets a little bit fortunate there, and now Matt Jay is pulled to the ground unnecessarily by Evans, and just inside the Chippenham half, 15 yards from the right hand side, Torquay United will have a free kick which Jay tried to take quickly.
Well, I bet Chippenham in that little exchange probably played 15 to 20 passes and still didn't get out their own half. You admire their patience and their commitment to keeping the ball, but credit to United for putting them under the sort of pressure that forced them to keep playing it backwards and sideways.
Well, here comes Worthington. His ball's just deflected there. Low Everton couldn't get on the end of it. Apparently Dave, just as the ball goes aimlessly up into United's half, Jordan Thomas has got it. Apparently the club actually gave the second goal to Matt Jay as well, so they obviously confused it, and they were having a moan about his new haircut as well, but we can't confirm.
They've corrected it now.
Absolutely, it was definitely Sonny Blue. Low Everton, they got that one, as United just stroking it about at the back. And then come forward looking for Dennis, but he's well out jumped by Carroll. Ball down the right hand side for Torquay is cleared by Vaughan.
That was a great ball by Matt Worthington. Realised that Jordan Young was one against the defender, and virtually with his back to play hooked it over his head 40 yards up the pitch.
Poor throw by Jay there. It can't break Torquay's way. Doesn't really give Louis Dennis much to aim for there.
That's when you want Denzel Achimpong on the throw, because he can certainly chuck him.
Absolutely. And eventually Jordan Dyer just clears up any potential possibility of a Chippenham breakaway there, and the ball goes all the way through for a throw and goal kick, I beg your pardon, to the visitors today. Good afternoon, or again I'll say afternoon, Dave. It's these floodlights are making me think it's a day.
It's time of year. The clocks go back on at the weekend, don't they, Paul?
This is true. Good evening to
evenings closing in.
Yeah, good evening to anybody from Wiltshire who's tuned in to us here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. Thank you for choosing to join us. But unfortunately for you, your team is currently behind by 2-0, 2 wonder strikes to be fair, but probably a fair reflection on the game if we're being honest, as again a ball forward looks for Gazella, but he's got nowhere near it, and Dreer and Fulston exchange passes. It's now back to Dreer, strokes it back to Hammond, and Torquay will look to come down this right hand side as Hammond gives it to Jordan Dyer, who then in turn gives Jordan Thomas the ball. He goes up the right channel looking for the runner Worthington, but good covering there in fairness by Chippenham. I think that was Haynes, I don't think it was Haynes that came across there to block that pass, and now Chippenham again through Sadie will trying to come forward on a halfway line, brought down by one of the goal scorers, Sonny Blue Low Everton, and they have a free kick just inside their own half, which Fleet takes quickly back to Harrison picks it up again, now back to Haynes, and he comes across to Carroll. There's he going, he's coming up towards the halfway line, Carroll, but again United standing off a little bit, and it's not really giving Chippenham much to aim for in United's half. I'm sure Paul will change that, and there will be a pressing phase, if you like, as Fleet plays a long diagonal ball looking for Vaughan. It's a good one on the left hand side, but again, even though they've got men forward, none of them in space, but here comes Vaughan. He's going to try and get across into the box. He does get across into the box, and Fulson gets ahead on it, but it's not on a very impressive one. Jordan Dyer's tucked in his own half, his own box there, and eventually concedes a corner kick. And I tell you what, Fulson was 1 against 2 there at one point.
Paul Watton is on the touchline, and I don't blame him. That was a very rare Chippenham attack, and there was a moment's hesitation in United's defence. James Hammond decided to stay when he possibly could have come off his line and dealt with that. He's normally quite good at that. And then they nearly let Torquay in for a shot, and at the expense of a corner.
The ball comes into the box from that corner. There's Jay Fulston's having a fight over there with somebody. What is going on, Dave? Sorry, I'm not commentating the action there, but Jay Fulston and number 6 Haynes, I don't know what Fulston's claiming happened there. The linesman did flag, so he's seen something, but as the action was going on, there was actually Fulston and Haynes down in the far end of the box, another Chippenham player down in the middle of the box, and the ball just been pinged about from left to left centre of the box.
Well, the referee is talking to his linesman, so presumably there's some sort of offence been confirmed. Sonny Fish is stripped off for United. Yeah. Oh no, he's put his bib back on again. That was certainly a change that United were thinking of making. I'm surprised it's this early in the second half. We haven't been going 10 minutes into the second half. The good news is, from United's point of view, is that Fulston is okay.
Well, I'm just watching him there, and he's having a right wee chat with that linesman, Dave. I won't pretend I've seen what happened there, but Fulston's not somebody I'd put into the play acting category, to be honest. But here comes Dyer, that long diagonal ball that he's become so adept at, or has become part of Torquay's game, more to the point. Come forward now, Chippenham. Touré on a halfway line, back to Fleet. He dinks it forward looking for Sadie. Jordan Thomas just about gets in there and then gets the second tackle, does well. And now Jordan Young on the right hand side over the halfway line, but he's got 2 beside him, tries to get by one. I think that's come off Jordan Young, it has, and in front of their own dugout. Chippenham will have a throw in. 55 just over gone here at Plainmoor on BBC Radio Devon Sport. United still in front by those 2 special first half goals, and now Matt J picks up a loose ball finds Worthington. That's good. We saw to Sonny Blue, low Everton midway inside the Chippenham half. He's got Callum Dolan on the left hand side. Jay Fulson will offer the overlap. Will use him. He comes inside looking for Everton. Everton tries to be really clever there, but truthfully made himself look a bit foolish. It's now out to Fulston, back to low Everton on the left touchline, back inside to Dolan, and United need to start again now. Back to Worthington. He's really making himself available for everything tonight. Worthington comes over to Jordan Thomas on this right hand side. Jordan Young there as well. Nice ball to Thomas, chance to get the ball in, but only really one to aim at in the box there, so I can understand why Thomas pulled back despite the groans of the crowd. Now Jordan Young, and it's back in a semicircle with Jordan Dyer. Now here comes Jay Fulston. He's got support on the left hand side through Dolan. Dolan trying to get into the edge of the box, couple of little step over, goes past one, goes past two, goes past the third, a low ball across to Louis Dennis, and Louis Dennis with the left foot from 7 yards out in the centre of the goal fires home for Torquay United. A brilliant assist from Dolan, a simple finish from Dennis. 57 played here at Plainmoor. Torquay United 3, Chippenham Town 0.
Well, that was the third goal. We said it for the second one that United were looking for, but they definitely were, because that gives them a real winning lead. I cannot see Chippenham coming back from that. Famous last words. A terrific build-up. Chippenham have kept the ball for, as we said a few moments ago, 15-20 passes and got nowhere with it. United did exactly the same thing, went down the right-hand side, retained possession, didn't deliver the final ball, and then finally back out to the left wing where Callum Dolan, little 1-2, feinted to go outside, came back in, laid a little low cross, and there was Louis Dennis to finish from 6 yards out. And United have that 3-0 lead, and they're making a substitution with a new he feels like a new signing, doesn't he? Sonny Fish, back from a cartilage operation, and he's just replaced Matt Jay.
I was at the game on Saturday, Dave, and I actually thought Fish he done all right actually, and the one thing that stuck out to me was his work rate and desire, as we've just seen there. Literally his first touch is going to close somebody down. I mean, you obviously can't judge anybody on half an hour's play, but
and he's not match fit yet, is he?
The very early signs to me were, if I'm honest, more promising than I was expecting, to be honest with you. Unfortunately for Sonny, his career has just been injury after injury, it seems, and we've not got a lot to base what he's done in the past on. But listen, as I said elsewhere, if there's one thing Paul Wotton deserves, in my opinion, it's the respect to the fans when it comes to bringing players in, because we've got a lot of good players at this club. I don't think anybody could doubt that at all, and let's hope Sonny Fish is one of them. As Chippenham again, well, I said about I call it a selective pressing. Dave, Torquay, after getting that third goal, now looked to be pressing a little bit higher there, but Chippenham have worked it out down the right hand side looking for Sadie. But
well, it's a natural chance, isn't it, Paul, to get Fish on, to give him these minutes which he needs to get back to 100% match fitness rather than just training ground fitness, and it's a perfect opportunity. 3 up, and let's see what he can do in this last half hour.
Well, as I said, it was Saturday wasn't a great day, shall we say. Quite a few moans and grumbles and whatever, understandably an extent. I actually thought the balance of the game, if you look at the stats, you're surprised. Well, we're actually about to see the withdrawal of Callum Dolan as well, and it's going to be Dylan Morgan coming on. I think that third goal has basically, Paul said, that's the 3 points in the bag. Callum Dolan will get a round of applause, but it's hardly a poor substitution, isn't it? Both of them actually, but hardly a poor substitution. And obviously with Dorking coming up on Saturday away on, quite frankly, a pitch that, in my opinion, I'm not even sure at that level should be allowed. It's an absolute farce, a pitch, looking at it on TV pictures. Paul's obviously wanting to keep his squad as fresh as possible. Callum Dolan and Matt Jay, big players for this team, as here comes Fleet coming forward out to the left hand side, left edge of the box for Fawn, tries a little step, will go one way or the other, put inside to Torquay, and then Jordan Young tries to pick up a Worthington pass inside his own box, trips over it, and Chippenham again trying to come forward, but Jordan Young keeps it in play. Now Sonny Fish pushed to the ground there by Haynes. The referee says not illegally so. Haynes coming forward 30 yards from goal. finds Sadie. He's got support on the right hand side through the ever busy Caldwell. He tries to get the ball into the box. It's closed down there by Dylan Morgan, and Chippenham will have a corner in the 61st minute here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. Thank you again for choosing to join us. Remember, we'll obviously have Dorking versus Torquay on Saturday, but on Sunday as well here from Plainmoor. The applause you can hear for Callum Dolan walking around the pitch. Torquay United women versus Exeter women in the FA Cup. I'm sure Exeter will be favourites, but we'll have full live commentary of that one here from Plainmoor as the corner's about to come in, the right-footed one. It's a decent one. Up goes the head. Dreher tries, just about gets on it, comes over to collect his own clearance, gets in front of Fleet. I think Dreher's having another really good match at the moment, Dave, for all he's been asked to do, which I know is not exactly, it's not exactly sort of like going to the mines or whatever, but I think his form in the last 4 or 5 games has been really, really good, as has Dyer's.
I think there's been 1 or 2 questions against both of them, isn't there? They were such rocks last season, especially on the run-in, and I don't think they've been quite as effective this season, but the last 2 or 3 games I think they've really stepped up a little bit, particularly obviously with the challenge of handling Andy Carroll against Dagenham 10 days ago, they played well against again tonight. Admittedly, against Hornchurch in a couple of weeks' time and Dorking on Saturday will be the big tests, you would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. As Fleet comes into the Torquay half, down this left-hand side, finds Sadie, back to Fleet. Again, Torquay pretty well organised off the ball. It's going to take a really good pass to break it down here. Carroll comes out to the left-hand side, but he's forced back to Haynes and he'll go back to the keeper. Please join us on BBC Radio Devon Sport on Saturday. Dorking versus Torquay. Harry Salvage and Martin Gritton will be guiding you through that one. If you're not making the game, you know where to tune in. An excellent pair in there as here come again Vaughan. That's a decent ball into the box, but again it's Sam Dreher. It reads it brilliantly, heads it clear. Sadie on the edge of the box comes to Fleet. Brilliant tackle there by Jordan Young. Words we don't hear. I had the pleasure of meeting Martin Gritton for the first time on Saturday. Dave, I only usually see him from a distance. What a lovely fella. It was an absolute pleasure to meet him.
One Scotsman meeting another.
Having a chat with him. He really is a nice guy, and as I said, him and Harry Salvage will be at Dorking, and hopefully for Harry and Martin will see something a little bit better than we all seen on Saturday as the ball's cleared out by Hammond, but only as far as a Chippenham head, and it's now down to Evans.
Pretty good player in his time, Martin. I had the pleasure of watching him in a Torquay shirt for several years, and he was a member of that wonderful squad that won automatic promotion under Leroy Rossignol in 2004.
I'm sure there'll be a massive turnout of the Yellow Army. Hopefully a result similar to last season when Jordan Dyer headed in a latish winner from a set piece, but Chippenham again through Vaughan on his left hand side trying to come forward, but Fish does well to get back there, sliding tackle, but it's only cleared out, and we're about to see I thought it was 4. We're about to see 3 substitutes for Chippenham. Number 18 for number 4 is Tom Mayhew coming on for Reese Fleet.
Tom Mayhew, quite an experienced player at this level, formerly with Bristol Rovers.
We are also about to see number 16, Kane Bradbury. He will replace
Olaf Kusela.
And the final one is number 32,
Sol Wanjao
Smith for Touré. So that's both our front men.
It's quite a switch around. 2 completely fresh strikers, and no doubt Gary Horgan will be hoping that the rest of his team get the ball forward a little bit quicker than they have been up to now, because although they've kept possession very well, they've given their strikers pretty little chance of actually doing much because they haven't had the ball.
Excuse my ignorance of all things Chippenham, but I actually thought Mayhew was a pretty regular starter for them, Dave. Whether he's picked up a knock or whether he's lost his place this season, I won't pretend I know truthfully what the answer to that is, but he is somebody I've seen a few times, and as you said, quite a decent player actually, and indeed it's him that picks up the ball now. trying to build Chippenham down the left hand side. Carroll is really getting forward this half. Nice little give and go. Here's a chance for Mayhew. That's a nice little ball into the box. Good shot there by Wanju Smith. Probably Chippenham's best move of the match, but straight into the arms of James Hammond. 65 gone here at Plainmoor. Torquay United 3, Chippenham 0. But the substitutes there, well, that was a decent early stuff from them. Both involved. Wanju Smith got the shot from about 15 yards. But
best move of the match from the visitors. Best move of the match. And United a little bit lucky to still be 3 goals up. And a naught still next to Chippenham's name, because that was a clear shot at goal.
Yep.
And thankfully it was straight at James Hammond, and he was able to save it fairly easily.
Jordan Thomas has a throw in, which he finds Sonny Fish on the halfway line, but Fish out muscled there. Here comes Mayhew again. Wanju Smith trying to hold the line. That's a good little reverse ball out of Vaughan into the left edge of the box. Can he find space for a shot? No, he can't. It comes again to Chippenham way, trying again through Bradbury. Back again onto the edge of the box. Chippenham all of a sudden going for it. Oh, here's a shot comes in there from Carroll, but it's over the bar. Well, the 3 substitutes, to be fair, Dave, have immediately made an impact for them, haven't
lifted them. Yeah, they certainly have. There's a lot more urgency to Chippenham since that triple substitution. They're coming forward with more intent, and United, I don't want to say it, but have just come off it a little bit.
Yep. The ball dinked forward there by Jordan Thomas.
They got the third goal they wanted, obviously, but you can't knock them for that. But
on the other side,
I think this crowd want the United to go on and see if they can get 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering what the crowd does. David, Popside's fairly well populated again tonight. It's always difficult to judge a bench because we can only see parts of it. It's another decent ball there. Dink through there, looking for the run of Wanju Smith, but Jordan Dyer's got his number and clears it. Jordan Young can't pick up the clearance, and now here comes Mayhew, another little reverse ball there. Good one in, looking to Sadie, but Sam Dreher again, absolutely imperious tonight. And there's a bit of a late challenge there by Carroll, who, well, he started off as a centre half. I don't know where he's playing now, but it's certainly not centre half, as again it looks like Chippenham are going to go all out. So if Torquay on the break can hit them, Dave, I don't wish ill on anybody, but certainly playing a risky game at the moment, Chippenham. Although saying that, at 3 down, nothing to lose, have they? As Carroll now on this left hand side, another good reverse ball to the left edge of the box, finds Kane Bradbury. Back to Mayhew, he's been heavily involved. The ball comes in, Dreher again reads it well. Jordan Young can't complete the clearance, comes to Mayhew, he's going to try a shot. He does try a shot straight into the arms of James Hammond. But these substitutions, Torquay have certainly not got a grip of him so far.
Mayhew is in everything, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah.
He's completely lifted, almost single-handedly, Chippenham. United are having to soak up a little bit of pressure for the first time tonight.
Sonny Fish trying to get his team back on the front foot there, but he's forced back. Low Everton, that is over there. Worthington comes back to Dreher, back to Sonny Blue. Low Everton, back to Sam Dreher. And Torquay just taking their time and in a long ball.
United give the impression that they're sort of sitting on this lead. I think it's a little bit of that, and you have to give Chippenham credit because they definitely have lifted themselves and are playing with a lot more intent now than they have at any stage of the match.
Well, here comes Bradbury down the left hand side. He's got support there again, which he uses, but this time Jordan Thomas comes back, and I think he's going to keep that in. No, he's not. A Chippenham player gets there in front of him as Vaughan trying to get the cross in. Good block by Jordan Thomas. Back to Mayhew, back to Carroll. I think Chippenham are playing a 1-1-8 at the moment, actually, Dave, as the ball again comes out to Vaughan. Here's another left-footed cross towards the back post. Good reading by James Hammond. Comes out, makes sure Wanju Smith can't get anywhere near it.
United needed that, Paul. They needed Hammond to come and get that big time, and he did.
Well, now let's see where they go, because everybody going forward for Chippenham there, but Fulston comes up with the halfway line, finds Morgan, comes back to Fulston. United just recycling possession about the back line again, not really in a hurry. I can understand. And now Hammond goes long looking for Jordan Young on the right hand side. Young slips, Carroll gets in. Louis Dennis doesn't seem to have touched the ball for a while, but then does really well, gets by one, but he kicked it too far, and Carroll gets another ball looking for one. Drew Smith is too far through, and James Hammond's got it. We're just into the final 20 minutes here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. Torquay United 3, Chippenham Town 0, but since the third goal, Chippenham made a raft of substitutions, and they've certainly, been on top again. It's Torquay obviously playing in
United have got to get the ball up to Fish and to Louis Dennis and see if they can make it stick up there, because that's the key to them pushing on and getting a fourth or fifth goal. At the moment they can't get the ball or are unable to Fish and Dennis and letting them do their job.
An attempted ball there through by Harrison, well read by Fulston, but again only played into the Chippenham area, and it's they who pick it up. And now Mayhew coming up with the halfway line down on the left hand side just in front of us here, finds Vaughan, comes back into Mayhew again, comes back into Sadie. Can he get a little bit of space for a shot? He can. It's up and over the bar. Sonny Bluelow Everton slid in to make his job as difficult as possible, but he got a clear one, and we're about to see Dan Hayfield come on to replace Louis Dennis.
Well, he's played well tonight, Louis Dennis. Scored a goal and has done a lot of good stuff, but I think United is the word, managing him at the moment in terms of his fitness. He's fit, but his 32-year-old legs have got quite a lot of miles on them, and I think Paul Watton may well have taken him off then with Saturday at Dorking in mind.
Yeah, exactly. It was his birthday the other day, Dave. I don't know if he turned 32 or 33 actually.
Yes, you may well be right. Yeah, sorry. Well, I'm not sorry if I've taken the year off him. I'm sure he'd be grateful for that. But
there's a strange decision there, as a clearance for Chippenham was brought down by Matt Worthington 30 yards from his own goal. Well, the referee's brought it back, and I think he's given a handball against Worthington. Again, a few Chippenham players surrounding the ref. I don't know whether that's how Worthington, to me, Dave, looked about 5-6 yards towards his own goal there, but I said 30 yards from goal. Let me change that to a minimum of 35.
Well, United have pulled everybody back to deal with this.
Absolutely.
Jordan Young is the furthest player forward, and he's about 30 yards out from goal.
Jake Evans is over the ball. I can't see who the left footer is from this distance. It's going to be a short one. And a little training ground one here at Chippenham, but Dreyer gets a little bit fortunate there, managed to clear it. Jordan Young's got it, he's got Thomas behind him. Thomas clears it up, but again, United not got anybody there. Dan Hayfield trying to get his first touch. Excellent play there by Carroll. Really good play for a guy who started at centre half. He's very composed on the ball as Carroll. So Canis Carroll he's called, and then it's down to one. Drew Smith on the right hand side, he falls, hits it with his hand. I thought from here, but referee and linesman couldn't see it. Then a tackle from Dreyer's penalised, and Chippenham 22 yards from goal, 5 yards in from the right hand side. They've got a chance to put the ball into Torquay United's box via a free kick, which will be taken. I can't see who it is, unfortunately the number's not showing me from here.
Yeah, despite the new lights at Playmore.
Yeah. Here it comes, right footed. Fulston doesn't beat the first man, frustrating for the visitors. Sonny Fish, Dylan Morgan goes to close everybody down. The ball ends up back with Henry, but some of the Torquay fans beginning to try and get behind their team a little bit there, because Chippenham, since that third goal or since the substitutions, have been in complete control of this game. But at 3-0 down, or in Torquay's case at 3-0 up, I'm guessing your sort of impetus meter isn't registering at 100%, but fair play to the visitors. They've certainly found at the moment a tactic that's working for them in terms of at least keeping possession. That's a brilliant turn there down the left hand side by Vaughan, chance to get the ball into the box. He does towards the back post, headed away there by Jay Fulston, and with just over 15 to go here at Plainmore on BBC Radio Devon Sport. It will be a corner kick from the right hand side for Chippenham, which will be taken by Kane Bradbury. Again, everybody back for United. Dave, a little bit surprising that, or is Jordan Young going to amble forward?
I think he'll try and be on just outside the box to pick up any loose bits and pieces from there and mount a counter-attack.
But here comes the right foot of Bradbury. It looks a deep one to the back post. It is a deep one. No prizes for guessing who wins that from a Torquay perspective. Sam Dreer's header gets it right out of the touchline, but it is a Chippenham player. It finds it. Jordan Young comes back and stops Haynes getting it, but Haynes possesses a long throw, so from about 10 yards from goal down the left hand side, Haynes will throw this one in. Chippenham have got 2 in a 6-yard box, 2 on the edge of it. Here it comes, up goes it, heads. It's headed off, I think, Jay Fulston lastly, and it will go all the way through to James Hammond, who takes his time to pick it up, closed down by one Joe Smith. We've got 14 and a half minutes to go here. Hammond looking for movement, but truthfully Torquay in no huge hurry, so Hammond goes long. Sonny Fish will try and battle his man there. It's won by the centre defender, but Hayfield gets it, but again, sheer numbers.
Hayfield couldn't keep the ball then, could he? That was the United's first little, they put the defender under pressure, got the chance to get the second ball, and then couldn't make the most of it, which they were doing in the first half.
Well, between Vaughan and Evans, they recycle possession. Haynes has got it now, but again excuse me, Chippenham trying to break into the Torquay United half. Carroll down this left hand side finds Vaughan on the halfway line. He comes inside looking for Evans. Hayfield forces him to go back to Haynes in that right, I beg your pardon, to Harrison in that right centre back position. Gets it from Colwell back to Harrison. It's now inside with Haynes. He comes over to Mayhew. He shows a little bit of space now. If Torquay can win this, which they do, but Worthington can't keep it, but he will get, well, Worthington's deemed to have committed a free kick there, Dave. Yeah, fair or
I just got it slight. That's a booking for that is a harsh booking. I think that's
for Worthington as well.
It is. Look, he committed a foul, but it was the most innocuous of fouls. There wasn't any malice in it whatsoever. I mean, is that a totting up booking?
I wonder if he said something there, Dave, because to be honest, I thought he got a toenail to that, but a Chippenham move breaks down, and now Dylan Morgan on the left hand side just over the halfway line's got a chance to run at them. He managed to get by his man and then slipped, and Chippenham pick it up again, and Harrison will look to build.
That was United's most promising attack since they scored the third goal, and Dylan Morgan needs a longer stud.
Well, Jordan Young was spending, I don't know whether it's that section of the pitch, Dave, because Jordan Young spent a fair amount of time in the first half slipping over there as well, but it's here again. Haynes comes, a long diagonal ball, but Jay Fulston reads it well, gets it clear, only as far as substitute Bradbury though. He will come back to Harrison just inside the Chippenham half. He comes back to Haynes, and Torquay United, well, to use a cricketing term, Dave, it looks like they've declared, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, they're look, Sonny Fish is still 3/4 fit, and although he's out there, United aren't passing the ball anyway well enough to get it ball to him. But
here's Chippenham again. Wanju Smith, right edge of the box. He's got Colwell outside him. It's a decent ball in by Colwell. Jordan Dyer, brilliant header out of defence. Comes to Carroll. Carroll does just well enough to keep that from Jordan Young, and then tries a low shot, which is tipped round the post by James Hammond. I think that might have been just about on target there, Dave. Corner to the visitors.
I don't think James Hammond could take any risks with that, and I think he did absolutely right, whether it was just on target or just off. I think he did exactly the right thing, pushed it round the post. Corner to Chippenham, their left hand side in swinger.
Yeah, and it's going to be from the left side with the right foot. Again, Chippenham loads up. It's a deep one to the back post. Up goes it, heads. Was headed by a Harrison. Came off Sam Dreer, and it will be a corner from the other side. So let's see if the visitors can get a consolation goal, although with their last 10-15 minute performance.
Paul Watton will be furious if they do.
Yeah. Mayhew on the right hand side, again back outside to Bradbury. This time his cross is very deep, it's going to go to the back post as Sadie picks it up, people going down in the box there, and eventually it'll come through, and Dan Hayfield lets that run through, and Torquay have a goal kick. We've got 10.5 minutes to go here. Just a reminder, Dorking versus Torquay United, one of the biggest games that this division will see. Full live commentary here on BBC Radio Devon Sport. The excellent pairing of Harry Salvage and Martin Gritton will be bringing you ball by ball coverage, and then on Sunday the Torquay United and Exeter City women's teams go head to head in the FA Cup. As my colleague Dave Thomas mentioned, looking for a crowd round about 1,000. We'll see what happens there. It's only a £5 a ticket, but if you can't make it, then we'll have full live commentary here on BBC Radio Devon Sport of that one as well. So a big weekend for Torquay United on the park in both the men's and the women's game, as Mayhew dinks that ball out looking for Caldwell. It's a decent ball midway inside the Torquay half down the right hand side. Fulston stops him, Morgan then stops him again, and then dinked again over to this left hand side where Carroll picks it up. He dinks it forward looking for the runner. Sadie, he is onside, I think. He just about keeps that in. It then goes out of play. I think the referee has given a corner.
Yeah, I think it just came off Matt Worthington.
Yeah, I think so.
He put a foot out so that the Chippenham player couldn't turn inside the box, and I think it just went off his boot and behind, and Chippenham have another corner.
They do. Everybody back for Torquay. Chippenham have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box, 1 on the edge and 2 not that far out of it. Jordan Young's 20 yards away from his own goal, is the furthest Torquay player away from his own goal. Referee, there's a lot of pushing and shoving in here. Here comes a right footed corner, more central one, and comes ahead, it breaks a Torquay way again, and then Jay Fulston gets rid of it. A late challenge there. The referee has given a free kick there. Well, I don't know what Chippenham are arguing about there, Dave. I think it was number 6. It was accidental. Him and Fulston went for the ball. He immediately put his hand up, Haynes, to say sorry about that. The ball plays up. The referee decides to give a free kick, and then 3 Chippenham players moan about the award, including Haynes, who'd already held his hand up, admitting his guilt, so to speak. But
happens all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We have got just over 8 minutes left here. Again, if you've joined us from BBC Radio Wiltshire, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Since your team went 3-0 down, they have actually played pretty well, but I'm sure not, well, not literally going 3-0 down, but it might be a story you've heard before, that other teams it's easy to be magnanimous in victory. However, for me, you showed signs that you could get a couple of decent results in this league without doubt. We shall see. Been a pretty impressive club over the last few seasons in the south, to be honest, and here you come forward again, but this time Jordan Dyer comes out, tried to play his pass to low Everton, but well blocked there. But Torquay United in front, or just in front of Paul Watton, and Mikey Edwards down there in the dugout will have a throw in which Jordan Thomas will take. There's another ball on the pitch. The thing with this multi-ball thing, it's easy to take advantage of if you want to slow the game down, Dave. Just somebody styles kicks one on the pitch from the benches or whatever. Jordan Thomas's long throw looking for Sonny Fish, but Vaughan gets in front of him. Worthington gets a head in, but again everything seems to be falling a Chippenham way. That's not through luck, that's through pretty good desire, to be fair to them. And the clearance by Carroll comes off Jordan Young, and it will be a throw in 15 yards inside their own half down the left hand side. Here comes Evans, he's robbed by Low Everton, and Sonny Fish almost gets it there. Now a long ball through looking for Wanju Smith, who finds himself in an offside position to the ironic cheers of the fans.
Well, I think it's a relief that the offside flag went up, because James Hammond came off his line very early then, and he was in no man's land if Wanju Smith had just managed to beat the offside trap, which he didn't, but not by very much. So that was potentially an awkward moment for the United defence. It's passed because the flag went up and it's offside, and James Hammond puts a long ball down the middle of the pitch.
And Fish gets in front of Carroll there.
Yeah, he wins it, but doesn't flick it on to anybody.
No, except the goalkeeper. And again, Chippenham will try and play out from the back as Carroll goes forward. just about kept in there. I think that was Bradbury, it was. Vaughan finds Evans just on the halfway line. His long diagonal ball is a good one, finds one of his own players. Chippenham again coming forward. They've got space down his left hand side. Bradbury tries to dink it back. Vaughan again in space outside here. Jordan Thomas can't close him down. It's a good ball into the back post. Excellent defensive header there by Jay Folsom for the concession of a corner. But we're going to have Ed Palmer coming on for Jordan Thomas.
Substitution for Torquay United in the 85th minute. Please show your appreciation for number 6, Jordan.
As I said, we're on all frequencies tonight, Dave.
Well, effectively United are going with 3 centre backs, and then
I actually think he'll play Palmer at right back. He did it on Saturday.
I was thinking that he may drop Jordan Young back into that role, but no, you could well be right, Paul. I mean, Ed Palmer isn't a full-back, but he can fill in there.
Yeah.
The important thing is, let's hope that United don't concede from a set piece like this.
From the right hand side, I think it'll be the right footer Bradbury. Jordan Thomas getting a generous round of applause. Good to hear that. Actually, he was becoming a little bit of a victim, so to speak. I was quite critical myself, to be fair, but James Hammond picks that corner up too easily from Chippenham's perspective. Quickly try and find out the other scores in the league. Most of the games heading to full time. Tottenham's third place, under 30 is a long ball comes through looking for Fish. Quickly go through his scores. Bath 2, Tottenham 0, Chesham 1, Worthing 2, Dagenham 1, Horsham 2, Hampton 1, Hemel 2, Enfield 3, Hebsfleet 0, Maidstone 3, Eastbourne 0, Maidenhead 1, Tonbridge 1, Salisbury 1, Farnborough 0, Dover 2, Dorking 2, 3-0 here, and Weston-super-Mare 5-1 up against 10-man Slough. United trying to build here. That's a decent ball by Hayfield. Jordan Young coming to the right edge of the box. Can he fashion space for a shot? He can. Well, it's a shot come cross, to be honest with you, but Dylan Morgan looking to keep that in. Tries to, it comes off him, and Chippenham will get the decision. Just under 40 he'll play here at Plainmoor, Devon, probably from a Torquay perspective.
2,854. That's 2,854.
I didn't hear the away number there, Dave. I'll come to that in a minute.
I think it's only about 25, 26, something like that. 26. 2,854 here at Plainmoor tonight.
A little bit better than I thought, actually, Dave, if I'm honest. I see here again, Chippenham trying to come forward. Safe journey back to all your fans. There's Low Everton, maybe sensibly pulled out a tackle there. I'm not sure he'd have done that at 0-0, but again, Wonju Smith trying to get his team forward, finds Colwell on the right side. Now Wonju Smith, right edge of the box. Good first time control by Wonju Smith, trying to get by his man. He does get by his man, digs it inside, he can't get it, and now Sonny Fish has got a chance to build for Torquay. He's tackled. It does come to Low Everton though, who then gives it away when Hayfield should have been receiving that pass, but he's awarded a free kick. If you're into things such as it stands table, Torquay United go into third place after tonight as Tottenham, perhaps surprisingly, losing 2-0 at Bath.
It just shows that there is still a big element of unpredictability about this league.
Yep.
And not only that scoreline as well, there are one or two others.
Frankie Vincent, one of the scorers for Dorking tonight. He got the equaliser in the 84th minute.
Ex-Torquay United loanee.
He is indeed. As again, as I said, since the third goal, Dave, 57 minutes gone, since about the half-hour mark, it's fair to say that Chippenham, after all the substitutes, have acquitted themselves fairly well. There's a long diagonal ball. Jordan Young can't get on it. Vaughan will pick it up. He is onside. Carroll comes up to support. We've got Mayhew inside. Mayhew, in my opinion, has really made a difference to Chippenham since he come on. Back outside again to Vaughan. He comes inside this time looking for Bradbury, trying to fashion space for a shot. Good closing down by Worthington. And then for some reason Haynes tries to decide that he's Johan Cruyff, but he does get away with it a little bit. And Jordan Young trying to get a foot in, but everything falling a Chippenham way these last few minutes, Dave.
We're not 100% sure. I would think with all the substitutions we'd probably be looking at 5 or 6 minutes of stoppage time here. Don't know what you think.
Yeah, I would have thought so. maybe a little bit less. I know it's only in the cup games that you can agree to do a little bit less, but
we were amazed, weren't we, a couple of weeks ago in a game in which there seemed to be loads of stoppages. The referee added only 2 minutes. We couldn't get our heads around that.
Well, I've deliberately avoided the subject tonight, Dave, but I was fairly impressed with the referee in terms of the amount of times he added on Saturday, because I know you watched the Cheshire.
Was there 11 minutes?
I
was quite pleased listening to the commentary, thinking, we've still got a chance of getting an equaliser.
And it certainly wasn't for injuries or whatever, Dave. It was for what we've seen too much of here in April when they came here. But as I said, I kind of promised myself I'm not going to rant on about it tonight. I thought Chesham for the first hour showed that they're a decent team with decent players, and then from the hour mark on just went back, reverted to type. I thought their performance last year here was, shocking, to be honest with you, even though they won. But here's Dylan Morgan trying to get down the left hand side. He's hardly had a chance to get into the game. He's going to go by his man Caldwell, but Caldwell's no slouch, gets a foot in on the ball. The referee decides it's a legal one. Then Morgan claiming he was an accidental kick to the head there.
He does. They're all falling over.
Yeah, absolutely. Did rain today, and here comes Mayhew rampaging forward through 4 minutes. It'll be Dave, brilliant working back there. Jordan Young does superbly there to get away from two players. Morgan's going to make a run. It's an onside. Morgan, if he can get on the end of it. He's not. He's given offside. Well, I watched that, Dave. I actually watched the line. Well, that was maybe he needs a haircut. He'd have been onside.
I think he was just off, Paul. I know what you mean. He tried to time it, and Jordan Young did brilliantly to pick himself up from that tackle and hit the pass, but it was one of those unfortunate ones. A nearly brilliant pass and run, but I think he was just a yard offside. Always difficult when a player is on the move, isn't it, to gauge those.
Well, one of the things I'll say, which I'll apologise for the incoming arrogance about to come, but as Wanju Smith does well down that right hand side, does really well, gets a low ball across, but it's a Torquay player, it clears it not once but twice, although it will break to Caldwell. He's got a chance to put it back in, uses Wanju's, no he doesn't, uses, can't see who that is out there. It comes to Evans, he knocks it back, and now Torquay United finds Sonny Fish midway inside his own half, going down the left hand side. He's got 3 Chippenham players about him, and Haynes slows him up enough, and then he is not fouled there according to the referee, and Chippenham will have another chance to come forward, but they slow it down a little bit as well.
Well, you've got to credit the referee in this particular case, and the last one we had here for the last home game against Dagenham, when players are going to ground slightly too easily, both that referee and this one, Sidhu Shane, are saying play on. You should be standing up then, and I'm not going to give you a free ticket.
Now here comes Dylan Morgan over the halfway line. He's only got Sonny Fish to aim for, but his ball is really poor, and Jordan Young's having a meltdown over on the right hand side here. He's using acres of space, but again Chippenham will try to come forward. But Evans on the halfway line low, Everton closes him down, feeds out to Caldwell. In my opinion, probably one of their, in fact both their wing backs have played pretty well. We are 2 minutes into the additional 4 here. As I said, apologies, this sounds arrogant to Chippenham fans, I really don't mean it to be, but from a Torquay perspective, since the hour mark, they've kind of dropped the impetus a bit, which perhaps will keep them fresher for Saturday. I'm not sure it was deliberate. I think credit has to go to the away side for their substitutions and their change and going for it a little bit, but Torquay United it's been comfortable, Dave, hasn't it? The shots have been at Hammond and whatever.
Interesting, I've just been watching Sonny Fish, who's obviously on a fitness mission out there. You can see, isn't it, the difference between training ground and match fitness.
Absolutely. There's another good ball. Carroll in an advanced position, 30 yards from goal. He's got support down the right hand side. There's a beautiful ball to Caldwell, right edge of the box. He's got a chance to dink it across. He does. Ed Palmer gets his head away. It comes to Carroll. He's got Bradbury behind him, but low Everton, that's in front of that. And now Jordan Young and Sonny Fish, if they go through to try and close down the keeper, but the ball's too long again. Jordan Young cutting a frustrated figure there, but
just saying about Sonny Fish, he's been walking for the last few minutes, and it just shows he hasn't been out there all that long, but just the difference between the intensity of matches as opposed to the training ground.
Here comes Brad, that's a good ball through, looking for runner Mayhew inside the Torquay box, played along. Jay Fulston takes it well and now finds Dylan Morgan. Now can Torquay United with 20 seconds to go form an attack here. The ball's dinked over. That's a beautiful ball by Morgan. Jordan Young down the right hand side. He's going to pick that up. He's coming towards the right hand edge of the box. Torquay have got 3 up here. Young tries a shot there. Matt Worthington, Sonny Fish,
Jordan
and
Fish
Dan Hayfield not
hoping
happy
for the pass, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
For his first goal for the club.
Absolutely, I think Jordan Young done that because I think
imploring Young.
The referee puts the whistle to his lips, and Torquay United have seen out a comfortable home win with 3 great goals, to be honest. But particularly the first 2 from Jordan Young and Sonny Bluelow Everton making the difference. Dave will be speaking to Paul after the match. I'm sure he'll be reasonably happy with that.
Absolutely, so important after the disappointment at Chippenham last Saturday that United bounce back and get all 3 points tonight. They've got 2 big games coming up against Dorking away, and then the leaders Hornchurch at home 7 days later. And you kind of I'm never in the territory of must-win matches, or not unless when you're right at the end of the season. But basically, United did need to win this match very badly indeed. They've done it with something to spare. I think Chippenham, I think they deserved to score a goal on their second half performance, and United were a little bit lucky on several occasions. But they've, as you said, Paul, Sam Dray I thought was terrific at the back. Jordan Young has got man of the match, and you can understand why. But Sam Dreyer for me was the pick of a defence. Another clean sheet, let's forget. I think, is that 3 in 4 games now? Yep. Something like that. Very valuable. And United and their supporters can now head for Dorking on Saturday in a much happier frame of mind than they were
4 and 5 actually,
last
Dave,
weekend.
If my memories.
Yes, could be 4 out of 5. Exactly, clean sheet. So much happier in that respect. The Plainmoor fans are happy, and United can move on and get set for these 2 very big games coming up.
Yep. Thank you so much from those that joined from BBC Radio Wiltshire. Unfortunately, from your perspective, your team have come away with another loss and haven't scored the goal. 6 straight defeats on the road, but the last half hour has probably given you something to cling on to, and perhaps you'll see improvement sooner rather than later. But the good news from a Torquay United perspective is that after 21 minutes, a Jordan Young free kick from 27 yards flies into the top corner. 3 minutes before the break, Sonny Bluelow Everton double United's lead, and then after 57 minutes, great work by Dolan down the left hand side, plays it in. Louis Dennis pops in with the third with his left foot to give us a full time score here. Thank you for joining us at Plainmoor. Torquay United 3, Chippenham 0. Good evening.
The 1,000 Mile Challenge for BBC Children in Need.
We're in training as we join radio stations across the country to attempt to walk 1,000 miles 3-legged.
And on the way, we'll be taking in towns, villages and communities across Devon.
Our team's attempting 25 miles of 3-legged walking in 2 days on the 4th and 5th of November.
If you'd like to support the team's efforts, head to bbc.co.uk/walk, where you can also donate online.
The 1,000 Mile Challenge for BBC Children in Need.
BBC Radio Devon.